What's going on, folks? Welcome to 34 Questions. Today I have a very special guest, another blast from the past, from St. Finbar days, way back, Mr. Sean Hall, aka Matt Mangels. Welcome to the show, man.
Hey, happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
No doubt, man, no doubt. First off, I just want to once again thank you for your time and this opportunity to reconnect and get to know you better. It's been a while, man. So I'm really happy that you're on.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, you're welcome.
For sure, man. So for those who are unfamiliar with the flow of the show, we do a few intro questions to set the tone. Then I have a little icebreaker, which is a spelling bee, but it's only one word, and feel free to participate or not. It's all good, no pressure. And then we jump into the main interview questions, where you choose a number between 1 and 34, and we kind of flow with the conversation that way. And and finish it off with a few concluding questions. Sound good to you, Sean?
Yeah, no problem.
All right, man. Well, my first question, I kind of asked you off camera, but it's just how have you been? You've been doing well. You've been going through it. How you been, man?
Pandemic wasn't too hard at me at the beginning, because I guess I'm kind of just used to being on my own and like doing my music by myself, and I hadn't really been playing live a lot, so just like the occasional live gig. But I'm kind of getting tired of things now. But I guess my main concern is how I'm going to get the vaccine and when, because been looking at appointments and there's never any available. So that's kind of my concern at the minute, just avoiding being sick. But yeah, I'm playing music. I'm going to be going into the studio, just playing on someone else's album, playing keys and synth and organ. So I haven't been in a recording studio since I think 2018, so that'll be nice. Yeah,
that's a long time.
Yeah,
for sure, man. So yeah, I think with the vaccine, it should be like, I haven't gotten it either. I haven't qualified, but April 15th is when I hear that everybody above 16 is going to be able to at least see a light at the end of the tunnel, kind of thing, where we'll have a scheduled day. Are you optimistic that it's not going to be like it's still going to take months and maybe just weeks?
To get a vaccine?
Yeah. Once April 15th comes around, the day that they're promoting out there.
Oh, yeah. I don't know too much about the supply, but I'm not holding my breath. I have heard people just show up at like SF General or something, even if you're not eligible. And I've heard that they're not going to turn anyone away. If you're like, oh, you're just not in the right zip code, or you're not in the right age, you're too young, or
Wow. Yeah, I haven't heard that. Maybe I should try that.
Yeah. There's a vaccine place right by my house at the City College campus, but I don't think I'll be able to get one there because my mom had to go to by Bayview. I know someone else who lives in my neighborhood had to go down there too, so I don't know why people in the neighborhood can't just go to the one that's right there. But I'm not a public health expert.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your music, man. I don't know, I feel like when did you leave St. Finbar, if you don't mind me asking? I forgot. Maybe like 6th grade? 7th grade?
At the end of 5th grade, so about 20 years ago.
Wow.
2001.
Were you already playing music back then, or was that something that came after?
Yeah. I had started. I kind of had fits and starts. I remember they had music lessons after school at St. Finbar. I took in 1st grade, and was very dry. And I remember thinking, man, this is so boring. You know, like having to like read the notes and all that. And I remember very little actual playing in those piano lessons. There's a lot of theory. So yeah, I kind of had like a few fits and starts, and then like I've been playing continuously since like about the summer between 4th and 5th grade, which would have been the year 2000.
Gotcha. When did it start becoming something that was like, maybe I could make money off this or make this a career? Was that later, like a lot later down the road, or did you already know early?
Yeah, I think it was like around I was 14 is when I was like, all right, this is what I want to do. Because I had like, other interests too. I was very much into like web design and building websites, and I was into history a lot too. And around like, when I was 14, that's when I was like, oh yeah, I guess this is what I'm supposed to do. This is the thing I'm passionate about.
I got you.
Yeah, still a challenge to make money off it and make it into a living. But, maybe someday. I'm getting paid for this session work, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, I imagine the life of an artist is pretty much, you get kind of paid by projects, and when like opportunities come and go, it's tough. Yeah, go ahead. You were gonna say something?
Oh, yeah, I was saying, the last paying gig I did was a Christmas party in December 2019.
Wow.
So that was a lot of fun. So it kind of like went out with a bang, because that was basically just like getting paid to go to a party. And I was like, man, I wish I could do this more. But of course, there were not many more parties after that.
Yeah. We could go about this like all day because we haven't talked in so long. But I just want to jump into this second question. My second question for you is, what would you like your descendants to know about you? Thinking generations down the line. If you could reach out to them, what would you like them to know about you?
Well, I try to do my part about global warming. Sorry about the planet being cooked, but I tried to. I ride a bike, and I sold my car last year, and I also stopped eating meat. So, it's funny. When you asked me to do this podcast, and you had that question in the description, I was thinking about my own grandfather, and like how I was down in Florida last year as my aunt passed away, so I saw a lot of my dad's siblings, and my grandfather died long before I was born. So I was like, what was he like? And I was kind of thinking like, oh, I wonder what he would like me to know. But what I took from him is that he was kind of ahead of his time, and he recognized that a lot of things were bad that most people didn't. Like, he was against the Vietnam War long before it was a mainstream position. So I want my descendants to know, hey, like I knew that this capitalist system was unsustainable, and like I tried.
Yeah.
I tried to warn people. And I guess I'd like them to know like I was a musician, and that's kind of what I did, and I hope that they'd be able to hear some of it. And God knows what music would be like back then, or that far down in the future.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I just want to say thanks first. You really got you hit it on the head, or hit the nail on the head when you're talking about how you thought about your grandfather and what he was like, and you still got something away from, which I still I'm just saying that's super relatable to the reason why I started this podcast, is because I never really got to meet my grandparents, and all I have is stories from my folks. So, but aside from that, I wish I could hear from them, what they were like and their adventures growing up. But thank you for sharing. And
sure.
My second question is a fleeting question. Hopefully it'll come back to me afterwards, but it was right there, but it's all good.
Oh, you forgot what you're gonna ask?
Yeah, man, it happens. I know you know. Sometimes it be happening, and I'm like, I get frustrated at myself, but it's all good. My third question for you is, how would you like to be honored? If I was to say today I'm going to do something in honor of Matt Mangels, well, how would you like to be honored?
I think if people didn't drive, because I've become kind of, anti-car and like pro sustainable transportation. So like, if you just took the bus, if you rode a bike or something or scooter instead of driving, I'd be kind of honored by that. Or if you, I don't know, start learning the piano. That's kind of a more difficult thing to do.
I got you.
Yeah, or just took up an instrument in general. Doesn't have to be the piano, be the kazoo or something like that. Just that'd be an honor.
I got you. I'll definitely, not take my car and, make, because I can't learn an instrument, man. I've tried a lot, and I don't know if I'm just lazy or just like, not as dedicated enough, but my fingers are too short for the piano. Well, that's an excuse. I can't say that, but there's a million reasons why I haven't picked up an instrument, but I can definitely, work on helping the earth for you, for sure.
Yeah, and I think there's kind of a genetic component too for musical aptitude. I've been reading about that, and there's a gene that scientists think is correlated with your ability to pick up an instrument and remember, a melody and all that kind of stuff. Because people say like, oh, anyone can do it if you just put in your 10,000 hours, but I think, what the science suggests is that like 1 hour of the same practice will do more for one person than it will for the other if they have if their brain is wired for that.
No doubt.
So
yeah, I don't think I have that. I can. I don't know if you knew this, but I tried to be a rapper for some time in my life, and I was that was one thing I could do, was kind of like put words to a melody, but I could never pick up an instrument, couldn't do a drum pad. Yeah, like I said, it wasn't clicking for me. But for some reason, writing words to a beat, I could do, But yeah, it's different. It's different for everybody.
Yeah, because I have a lot of trouble writing lyrics. That's kind of why I've gotten into jazz and away from songwriting. Is I find that I'm doing better soloing over existing things, kind of riffing on things that already exist, rather than trying to create something from scratch and from the whole. Because like I can come up with melodies, but I can't. I feel like my lyrics they never meet my own standards. And it's like I've heard that's the reason why Billy Joel stopped writing songs, because he could never finish the lyrics. He can still come up with new music, but the lyrics are hard. I guess I need to read more poetry or something. Or I just don't have a way with words like that.
I mean, that's an interesting point you write about Billy Joel, because I was thinking to myself, anytime I ever had writer's block, or when I just stopped writing, I felt like I couldn't write, it's because I felt like I wrote about the same stuff way too much, and it was just like I was stuck in a personal loop. Like the one song, like all my lyrics could just be one song because it's about the same topic, so yeah, that was my challenge.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that myself too a few years ago, where it's just like every song I wrote was like basically like things are bad.
Yeah.
Like if you look around the world, like things are bad, and there's only so much you can do with that sentiment.
Yeah, man, a lot of my songs were about I'm struggling now, but I'm gonna make it. Every song was was like that.
Yeah, I think that's pretty common for rappers. It's kind of optimistic in that way.
No doubt. Yeah,
it's aspiration.
I'm sure you've heard the term struggle rap, and that's what I usually vibe to most, even now. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. My fourth question for you is, How well do you know yourself? And if it's hard to put in words, you could do a scale from 1 to 10.
Oh man, that's getting deep now. I guess 8, but because I think there are probably some things I don't know, but I'm not mystified by myself.
I got you.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, for me, I usually give myself a 5 because I don't know, like, if there's, what's that limit of, like, knowing myself. I feel like I'm more comfortable saying that I'm in the middle than I'm, above or below the average. I don't know what the average is, but yeah, like, and also my 2 cents on that is that when I'm at my highest, I feel like I know myself the most, and when I'm at my lowest lows, I feel like I don't know myself, and that fluctuates throughout life, so that's usually how I answer
and I
it.
think there's that like cliche saying, like you're talking about your significant other, like, oh, you know me better than I know myself. But it's kind of true, because like sometimes like when I'm angry and I'm like, I'm gonna do this and that, and they're like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not gonna do that. You're just saying that. I'm like, yeah, I guess you're right. So that's why I wouldn't say 10.
I got you.
But I think I mean, some people would say ourselves are the only thing we really can know. Isn't that solipsism? I don't know how you pronounce that word, but yeah, it's it's like solipsism.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to look. I want to look that up, because I think that's like the only thing you can know yourself is yourself. That it's hard for me to say that's true, like an ultimate truth, but that sounds like something I would vibe to. And so I gotta look that up. Solipsism.
Yeah.
All right.
It's one of those words I see written. I don't really hear pronounced.
I got you. Well, that brings us perfectly into our icebreaker, which is the spelling bee, which is usually a word that people don't normally either read or write, but they hear it all the time. So I have to ask you, have you seen any of the other spelling bee portions in previous episodes? And if not, that is all good.
I have not.
Gotcha. Perfect. I could use the same word. And the word is liaison.
Oh, it's Liaison.
Oh man. You're like 1 out of 2 people who got it right on the first try, and like 1 out of 6 people who got it right at all. So congrats,
it's funny. I saw that word recently. I can't remember where I saw it. It was like within the past week.
Hey, man.
It's funny because I remember seeing that word and I'm like, oh wow, it's got like 3 vowels in a row. but it wasn't on here, and I don't know. I can't remember where I saw it, but it's funny. You got any more?
No, actually, that was the only one. But it does. You do qualify for getting it right for the spelling bee episode later down the line, when I get more guests to qualify. And yeah, man, I know it's a hard thing to say how far into the future and if everybody's available. That's always the toughest part. But yeah, just I'll be hitting you up to come back on if that's cool with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch the old episodes now, because I'm curious how people spelled it. Like, I bet some people put some E's in there.
Oh yeah, it ranged, man. And people normally spelled it as without the middle I, so it's Liason. And I always had to say like, oh, you're missing one, right down the middle, and
Oh.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, when you say it, you can't really hear it, and that's how most people try to spell. But yeah, man. Thank you for participating. Cool. I hope that was fun.
Yeah, that was.
All right. We made it to the main dish, the main portion of the interview, where you get to choose a number between 1 and 34. Feel free to shoot.
Let's go with 12.
Are you using your time wisely?
Probably not. I mean, I'm not, using it maliciously. It's not like I'm like using it to like my time to like plot, nefarious things or like.
Yeah.
I'm saying too much now. But
yeah, I'm sorry, man. You cracking me up.
I'm not hurting anybody, but I guess I do. I spend a lot of time like Twitter, different websites. Like I go on Reddit. I don't even have an account, but like I just go on the local subreddits and I don't play as much as I should. I spend a lot more time listening to music than I do like actually playing. And whenever I do play, I don't like really practice, and I'm kind of always feel a little bit guilty about that. Like, oh, you didn't do any scales today. You didn't do any arpeggios. You just kind of played songs, and it's kind of practice because you're still playing your instrument. But I could probably, sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm definitely not using my time wisely, but then I wonder like, oh, is that just like my inner Protestant work ethic that the Puritan mindset I've internalized from being in America? I don't know, because we're not meant to like work all the time. Like, it's I don't think it's bad to be lazy, really. But it's still hard to not feel guilty about like, oh man, I spent like 3 hours just scrolling different sites, social media. Fuck,
dude.
Sorry, are we allowed to swear on this?
Yeah, no, you are. Be yourself, man. Don't censor yourself.
Okay.
No, but yeah, man.
I don't know if this is a family podcast.
I mean, honestly, this video is for you. So it's on my channel and whatnot, but another reason why I do this is so you can have like this timestamp of where you are at this point in time, so you can show it to whoever you want.
Like a time capsule.
Yeah, in a way. No, I was just gonna say I relate to you wholly, man. Like I am a Redditor as well, and I can get lost in all those subreddits, whatever interests me. I spend like, I know I probably take an extra hour to sleep just because I stay on my phone looking through subreddits, more so than like Instagram and all the other social medias. I don't know, something about that forum way of setup that Reddit has going on is just more attractive to me, and apparently it's blown up. Never thought it would happen that way, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't go on Instagram too much. I like text, I like read a lot, but I have this software on my laptop called Flux, where it'll automatically at night make your screen darker. Like you put in your location and it tracks the sunset time, and then it makes it dark at night, so you're not getting super bright lights right before you go to bed. Still not ideal, but it kind of helps a little bit, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I think, I don't know what it's called on Macs, but I think a similar thing where at least it doesn't just like keep my eyes open. It gets my eyes tired, actually, and maybe that's a proven thing, scientific thing. I don't know if it's just a marketing thing, but it seems to work for me.
Yeah. And by the way, what is up with Reddit and those like endless like sub threads? It's like, continue this discussion. It's like, why can't there be a limit on like how many? You know what I'm talking about? Like the replies go like so deep, and like, can you like make the limit like 3 or 4 at the most?
I mean, I feel you. I generally just end up reading like maybe top 5, and then within those 5, there's comments within those that I just like, I'll see where the real information is sometimes, right? Is in the comments. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I liked a similar website that predates Reddit called Metafilter. But it's like all just single comments. You can't like reply to anyone's comments. It's all just one, which I kind of liked.
It's called Metafilter.
I don't really go on there as much. Yeah, Metafilter.
All right, I'm gonna check that out. Is it still like active to this day, or?
Yeah, it's still, it's, you know, it's past its heyday, but it's still going strong. But yeah, most of the days it's Twitter, because like everyone's on it, and you know, I think it had a big explosion to Trump, you know, and that was his medium of choice.
Really?
And I think there's been, he was tweeting day and night all the time. But I think there's kind of a void now, because you know, every day he would tweet something outrageous, like the time he called Bette Midler a washed up psycho. And there'd just be something to do. And I feel like ever since he left office, there's been kind of like this like void, you know? I don't know if you feel that.
I think I've noticed it more in like mainstream media, or you know, just like that figure that was always reported, so guaranteed clicks, guaranteed, you know, views and reads and everything. I think I've noticed it more there than Twitter. I've tried to get into Twitter, man. I don't know what it is about it, man. I just haven't figured it out to feel like I'm actually using my voice, you know. But yeah, it's a different experience. It
helps if like you know people in real life, and because I had an account for a long time and I didn't really use it, and then this guy I used to ride bikes with was like, "Oh, you on Twitter?" I'm like, "Yeah, technically." Not really, but then I started going on more, and I got into like, you know, my other bike people, and you know, and there's a lot of funny accounts on there too. So yeah, there's just, you can get news, you can get entertainment, but it's all about the people you follow. You know, it's only as good, I guess, as the accounts you follow.
I mean, I give it a shot every time, and I still haven't given up on it. But I think the new thing is the TikTok.
Oh yeah, I've had people try to tell me to go on TikTok and like put videos of me playing piano on there, but I don't really want to. You know?
No, I hear you.
I guess I could get an audience, I suppose.
Is it like I feel like a big reason why I haven't bought into the whole TikTok thing is because I know who created it. I didn't know who, but where it's coming from. So it's just like
China.
Yeah. Well, I mean, am I right to feel that way when almost everything I buy is from China? Like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I do remember being hesitant to join TikTok for that reason, but then I was like, well, I don't think it tracks you any more than Facebook does. But I've gotten off Facebook too. Like, I don't think I've been on there since, I don't know, maybe late October, November. So I'm out of the loop. I don't know people's birthdays.
You don't know what they're thinking. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I have to like remember when someone's birthday is and then text them. It's not, I don't get reminded. I do kind of miss the memories when it shows you your memories from
that's
that
cool.
day.
That's true. And I mean, now you're just going old school with you know, remembering people's birthdays. Old fashioned. But yeah, man, go ahead and throw me another number.
What about 22?
How do you define ego?
Boy, I had to think about this.
Oh, take your time. There's gonna be music.
It's your conception of yourself. It's the part of your brain, I guess, that is the self. Yeah. There's the so-called lizard brain, like, which is the real basic stuff, right? It regulates like breathing and all that. I guess your ego is the part of your brain that worries about like, oh shit, I've got a pimple. People are gonna look at me. I'm gonna be embarrassed, and it's I can't say it's like a part of your brain. I guess it's a construct. It's I guess you could define it as it's who you think you are.
Whoa.
I don't know.
Yeah. Who you think you are? Goddamn. Yeah, I feel that.
Who do you think you are?
Yeah, that's a good tagline for the ego.
That's the song you should have playing. Like, who do you think you are, Mr. Beast? You know that one, right?
Yeah, of course I do, man. I think the first time that entered my consciousness was Mighty Ducks, because they played it in that movie. I don't know if you remember that, but that's what I remember.
I don't. I haven't seen that movie in a long time, but
No,
yeah, I remember that song because I saw him live, Booker T, at the Hardly Strictly Music Festival over in Golden Gate Park.
Oh shit!
And he was playing that. I'm like, oh, that's him. I didn't know he did that song.
Damn, I didn't know either. Holy crap!
Yeah, he was like a session player that played on all those Stax Records hits. So
okay.
He played that song that was in The Sandlot. It's like the instrumental organ one. I think it's when they're all going on the roller coaster and they have to chew tobacco. Yeah, it's called Green Onions. It's one of those tunes that like everybody knows, but very few people know the name of.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, go look up Green Onions by Booker T. Anyone listening, you're gonna be like, oh, that song.
I got you. I'm gonna check that out for sure. I wish I could do it right now, but I haven't figured out how to like incorporate that audio into the.
Oh yeah, I do that in post production.
Yeah.
Get your editing team on it.
All right, look to myself. But yeah, man. The question popped up back into my head from way beginning in the interview. It had to do with you playing music, and your instrument, you would say, is just a piano, or you play a bunch of other instruments, or
piano and voice. You know, a lot of my musical identity is wrapped up being a piano player, but I do like to sing too. That's kind of my what do you call it? Not my hidden talent, because I'm not really talented and I don't really hide it, but it's my the thing I like to do. That's like kind of my passion thing that I'm not as good at as piano, but like I like to do it because I was listening to I know this is a controversial artist because of his political views, but Morrissey. And I realized, like, God, this guy just loves to sing, and he inspires me, and he makes me want to sing. He makes me realize, like, God, you know, I've got, you know, there's like stuff inside that you can't get out just through playing piano. I'd like to sing as well. I'd like to someday also play like guitar or something, strings, you know, with strings, because you can bend notes, and I feel like there's music you can't get out through just piano, because you can't bend, you can't play in between the notes. They're fixed. Whereas a guitar, you can kind of like little things like that, you know, and do slide like this guy Derek Trucks. That's probably my favorite guitarist.
Where's he from?
Like Georgia.
Oh.
He's his uncle is in the Allman Brothers. And yeah, he does really great like Southern guitar, but also he listened to a lot of Indian music like Ravi Shankar and a lot of like ragas.
Shit. Yeah.
So it's kind of got that element too. It's a real interesting mix. But yeah, just piano and vocals, those are my main instruments. I have like a little melodica, you know what that is? Like,
no, what's a melodica?
It's like the I think I got it right here. Let me take it out here.
For sure.
Let's just show you.
Oh,
so
snap.
like one of these things, you like blow through it. There's a little tube you attach and you can blow. So
is that so it won't make noise unless you're blowing and pressing the keys at the same time? Or? Yeah.
Oh
man. I got you.
Yeah, so I've been playing that lately. I just I never play it indoors because it's kind of loud.
Yeah.
So I'll go to like the park or something, just play and practice, and it's kind of neat. Like I can pretend that I actually know how to play a wind instrument, Really, I'm just playing piano in another way.
I see.
Although you do have to, like, you know, have good breath control and all that. But yeah, it's a lot easier than learning like the new fingering for like saxophone or something, or trumpet.
I gotcha. Is that like the level 2 of piano? Because I can imagine breath control is like, it's hard to incorporate when you're trying to play a song. You know, like I don't know if it's become natural to you, or it helps. Actually, it probably helps you with your singing.
Yeah, it's interesting because when you're trying to solo on the piano, the problem that I think I have and a lot of pianists have when they're soloing is like you don't know when to stop. Like your phrases can just go on and on, like a Bach piece, like a Baroque thing, where there's no rests. Whereas if you're playing a wind instrument, you have to stop at some point, so you have to take a breath. So I feel like that's kind of good for my phrasing, because otherwise I'll be playing like really long lines and people will get bored, I think, if there's too many notes in a row without a stop of some kind, without a break.
Yeah.
So I think it kind of helps see, playing that thing helps see my phrasing when I'm playing just a regular piano.
Can you also bend the notes because of your breath, or it's still like a regular piano?
Yeah, not really. You can't really like bend the pitches. You can do some like other interesting things, like get like a kind of wah wah effect. If you like vary your breath, and you can vary the dynamics, like how loud it is, pretty just by how hard you blow, which is kind of cool.
Gotcha.
But you can play more than one note at a time, but like you have to blow really hard, and it's kind of impractical. I still do it sometimes.
I gotcha.
Yeah, I use it to imitate the bagpipes, where I hold down like the lowest key, like kind of like the bagpipe drone, and I'll play something on top of that.
That's funny. Do people ever, like when you play out in the park, do people ever come up to you and ask you about it, or is it just passerbyers most of the time?
Yeah, I used to play at Dolores Park like over the summer, and
sick.
I eventually like started playing with this guy who played guitar there, and we play some songs. Sometimes people didn't give us money, but I haven't been going over there as much because I don't know, it's kind of loud. There's a lot of people with like speakers and stuff that are really loud, and a lot of like noise pollution and competition. So, and I feel like people are kind of spooked by me playing that, because it's like, oh, he's like breathing, I'm getting his germs, he's putting a lot of like germs out there. So I kind of go like off the beaten path to play. Or I go to Golden Gate Park and I play sometimes by the Conservatory of Flowers, where there's that tunnel, because you get kind of a cool echo there.
Yeah, that's sick, man. Was that something you picked up recently, or you've been kind of doing that for a minute?
I think I got that in 2018, but it's definitely more like since the pandemic started that I've really been playing it a lot, and play it very much before then.
I feel you.
But I just realized like, like when Valencia Street was closed off, I'm like, oh, I can go and play there, maybe try to make some money. But I think what you have to do is like, you gotta like get put your Venmo, write it down like on cardboard. People don't like carry much cash these days. I think also because of the pandemic. So I got to get like one of those QR codes and like print it out and do that. And
super easy.
I kind of stopped. I stopped once it got smoky, and I kind of just haven't picked up since then. But I got to go back downtown and try and make money playing again. That's always cool when you can do that.
Well, like, so you would go out there and play like just downtown, and have people like donate?
I'd go like to Valencia Street, like around like 18th and 19th, and just kind of set up there. But again, there's like a lot of competition though, because there's like a whole family that plays like violins and cello and all, like a string quartet.
Sorry, I've never seen
they're on there. Yeah, there's like a guy that with like DJ booth and speakers on that same block. So yeah, there's got to be a lot of competition. So I haven't really gone to places with people to play. There's like a spot I go by the horseshoe pits in Golden Gate Park now. That's kind of where I've been going lately to play. It's my little spot.
For sure. Well, I was just wondering, like, if you could remember like the best day you had, being out there. Like, was it something different kind of energy you were bringing, and were like the songs you were playing that people just kind of like vibe to you a little bit more, or if you could remember?
Yeah, I remember one day when I was playing with that guy, we were playing guitar, and I remember teaching him some songs, which is kind of cool. Like, I was like, we gotta like kind of pander, we want to make money. I was like, do you know the Friends theme song? He's like, no, I don't know that. I was like, oh, I'll teach you. He had a notebook, so like, wrote down the chords and all. And then what we actually made money on was someone asked us to play, just came up and was like, oh, you just play something for us. So we played Mercy Mercy Me and Marvin Gaye, and then after we were done, like, they gave us each $5.
Yeah,
is, pretty good. Most people just give like $1 or something.
Yeah.
So that was good. So it's I like being able to. It was a good feeling to like teach someone a new song.
I got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have me hella nervous, just strangers coming up to me requesting songs. But, that day you guys were able to pull it off. Have you?
Yeah, and, we were drinking too, so you kind of get more confidence.
Liquid courage.
But I'm not drinking currently, so I have to, just find other ways to get confidence.
All natural. I feel you, man. Another fleeting question. Damn it, that's on me. But go ahead and throw me another number.
About 7.
What are you an early adopter of? Something like you had mentioned earlier. The whole climate crisis. You were there. You were pushing for it. What's another thing like that where you kind of saw early? Yeah.
Well, Twitter, because I actually created my account. I was still in high school in 2008.
Wow.
Because, like I said, I used to be really into building websites, and I kind of like followed the web development community. So I was a big nerd in high school. It's in the past tense, like I'm not anymore. But I remember when like Twitter came out, because it was the same guy that did Blogger. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah,
Blogger.
I do remember Blogger.
Yeah. The guy that wasn't Jack, like Evan something. And I was like, oh, okay, that's okay. Kind of cool. Like, and I noticed like a lot of the web development people getting on there, and eventually I was like, well, maybe I should be on here. So I didn't really tweet much. I like would tweet every now and then for like the first couple of years, and then I didn't touch my account for like 3 or 4 years until like 2014. So I wasn't using it continuously. And then I was an early adopter of another service, which I don't think many people remember anymore, which is called Delicious.
What's that one?
A bookmarking site. If you wanted to, it was like a social bookmarking site, like early social media. So you came across a cool website, you could save that link, and you could, tag it, and then you could see what other people had found and like search tags. And that's how I used to find like funny videos before YouTube. Go to Delicious and like search for like the MP4 tag or something like that, and like see what people had tagged with the word funny. So wow, I joined that when I was still in 8th grade in 2004.
Whoa, yeah.
So, and then it got bought by Yahoo at the end of 2005, and we all know what Yahoo does to products. Same thing they did to GeoCities and to Flickr. I don't know if people remember.
It's the place where apps die, right? Yahoo, where websites die.
Yeah, and now they're shutting down Yahoo Answers.
Really?
So.
Oh man.
yeah, next month is not going to be. It's all going to be taken down.
Man, I used to ask people on Yahoo Answers to rate my rhymes. all that information is going to be gone.
Yeah, you got to save it if you want it.
Oh,
but I guess I was an early adopter of the internet itself because my dad worked in the computer biz.
Oh snap!
He's a systems engineer. He works for Visa now. Used to work for a company called Tandem, which got bought by Compaq.
Oh man, Compaq.
So I remember my earliest memory using the internet was probably in like it could have been early as 1997. So maybe 96, but I think it was definitely by 97. I remember the first website I went on was for this TV show called Kratz Creatures, which later got called retitled Zaboomafoo.
Got you. I definitely remember that second name.
yeah. Old millennials will know. But yeah, it was like a PBS show, and like they were like, "Oh, you have a website." And I remember when like cereal boxes, like the Fruit Loops, would be like, "We're on the web," and they'd have like the whole like http://www.kellogg's.com.
Yeah.
I'm like, Dad, they got a website. Look at that. We gotta go on.
I had that. My first experience was America Online, probably 2001, 2001, and yeah, man, like kids chat rooms are just. It was all the kids sites, They always had the same stuff: message board, new games. Yeah, I think we can still go back on there, right? Like the Wayback Machine. I think there's a site, right?
Oh yeah. It's the Internet Archive is great. It's got a lot of valuable stuff on there. Hopefully it stays up. It's there's an author named Chuck Wendig that's suing the Internet Archive for like putting books on there, claiming it's like an intellectual copyright violation. So it's like. I think they're pretty well funded and they've got good lawyers to defend against that. But it's headquartered in the city, right off Park Presidio.
Nah, I did not know. Wait, the Wayback Machine? No way.
Yeah, the Internet Archive is in like an old like Christian Science temple or church. Wow. It's like on Clement and Park Presidio, I think, somewhere around there.
Is it something where like I can go in there, or is it just like their office where
it's a good idea. I mean, I don't imagine you can now because of the COVID, but I don't know if they give tours. That's a good question. I know that the Mythbusters place doesn't give tours, the one that's on Missouri and Cesar Chavez, the workshop where they filmed that. I know that they don't give tours there for insurance reasons.
Yeah.
Just in case anyone listening is trying to visit the Mythbusters headquarters. But yeah, Internet Archive, I'd be interested in seeing that because, they probably have like a bunch of servers in there. Whole server farm. That's always kind of neat to see.
No, I mean, just if it was like a museum or something where they had different things that were like monumental that they pulled out, something like that. I don't know.
They should like different exhibits for like milestones in internet history, like the chocolate rain. They have like a wax figure of a Tay Zonday, or
if they wanted to go
got
there,
Grumpy Cat stuffed like taxidermy.
Yeah, they could do where are they now kind of thing, like or an exhibit that has that all the famous memes and videos. That'd be kind of funny.
The Star Wars kid. Remember that, like one of the first viral videos?
Oh man. Wait, which one is the Star Wars kid?
It was like he had like the pretend lightsaber, and he was like.
Oh yeah, I do remember him.
It was like a French Canadian kid, and
I remember him now.
It kind of ruined his life. But
hey, if anything, Disney's gonna put him on as an Easter egg in Mandalorian or something.
That's a good idea, actually.
You know, like, oh shit, it's the Star Wars kid. Everyone's gonna like lose their minds, you know.
Yeah, there you go.
Who knows?
Yeah, you should pitch that to me.
Disney, you heard it here first. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're watching this podcast, Michael Eisner, whoever's the head of Disney now.
Hey man, just want to let you know we're hitting about the last 10-15 minutes of the podcast. Just want to say thank you again before it gets to the end. I hope you're having fun. And
yeah,
we gotta go ahead and throw me another number. I think we got time for a couple more.
Okay. What about 29?
29. What? Well, this question is kind of weird because I also don't want to put it on blast for people to be like, oh, that's what it is. But what is your most valued possession? And feel free not to answer that. I would say not so much, money wise, but just more something that's like you're more attached to sentimentally.
Well, I guess my piano. So I'm not too worried about someone stealing that. If you can break into my house and take my piano, like you've earned it. I'm not gonna be mad. Like you clearly want it more than I do. So yeah, I guess that.
You've had the same one growing up?
I've had it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've had it since 2004. So yeah, I first learned on like a little Casio keyboard, and then my first like full 88 key keyboard was actually a Suzuki. I don't think they make keyboards anymore. I haven't seen a Suzuki keyboard in a long time. But I eventually got like a real acoustic grand piano, a Sherman Clay. So yeah, I guess that. Although like you do get kind of tired of playing the same instrument, and I always like the chance to play a different piano if I see someone at someone's house or in public or something, because people are like, don't you play all the time when you get tired of playing it? It's like it's different, it's like they're all different, and they all have different feel, and they all different tone qualities. But yeah, there are many like it, but this one is mine.
No doubt.
Yeah, I guess my computer too, because that's kind of my whole life. I'd be kind of lost without that. Wouldn't be able to do this podcast because I don't have Zoom or anything like that on my my phone. My phone's kind of old too. It's like 4 years old now, so I haven't even attempted to ever do like FaceTime or anything on it.
Yeah.
And yeah, those are really. Oh, and speakers, of course. I've got nice speakers. I don't have nice headphones anymore. They kind of wore out after many years of use. So I do have a nice speaker setup.
No doubt.
Which which is pretty cool, because yeah, I all I got is like these earbuds now. So,
not the same.
Yeah, what kind of headphones do you have, by the way?
These they're like they're called Avantree, and the main it's like Avantree, but the main reason I got them was that they're able to be plugged in and also Bluetooth, and not a lot of headsets are marketed that way, so that's the main reason why I bought it, because I don't always want to have to worry about my Bluetooth charge. I just kind of want to like plug it in and do its thing.
Yeah, I had Sennheisers, which were
those are nice.
Pretty nice.
Those are nice. I had the Sony ones with the curled braid or wire. And
that's what I had.
Yeah, those are. I mean, I think everyone should have those, but man, it was really, really long. It was like 10 feet long or something. I didn't need something like that right now.
Yeah, they kind of get tangled too. Like I got knots in the cord. I was like never able to get out.
Man.
But like the headphones like themselves were okay. What wore out was like the padding. That's what got. I think that's what wore out, and I guess I could still listen to them, but like it's not like a tight fit around the ears anymore. So
yeah,
it's not quite the same.
Do you like Bose's or Bose? I don't know how to pronounce it.
Oh, Bose.
Yeah,
Bose? Yeah.
Compared to Sennheiser's, like I feel like you might have an ear that's better. Go ahead.
I don't know if I've ever listened to Bose earphones.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
The other ones I had, I got like cheap ones from an old job that were like $99, and I mean, it's like some Chinese brand. So, yeah, and those like recently stopped working too. It was my backup headphones, but yeah, I've never tried. But there's like Bose are the noise canceling ones, right?
They are. I mean, they've had. I just really like them. I had a pair when I was in college, and it was just super comfortable as far as like with whatever foam they had in the ear, and they say it sounds like this percent much better than the leading other ones, but I could never tell. I don't have that ear for like, oh man, this is really good treble, this is really good bass. I'm like, it kind of sounds the same to me, but yeah, I think other people can appreciate the craftsmanship on Bose too. Even I know they're like a big sponsor for sports, like I seen them on NFL and NBA, I think, but that's all I know about Bose, is that they were super comfortable.
Yeah, I'd like to try them someday.
Yeah.
Maybe the Beats, those are supposed to be good too, right? Beats by Dre.
My beef with Beats is that somebody like took it apart and like was like took apart like another Asian knockoff headset, and they found the same parts, and it was just like yeah. So ever since I saw that, I've been kind of like, oh man, I don't know, but who am I to say, like maybe it's not as bad as I think. Maybe everybody else is the same too, like they use the same components, but that's where my beef with Beats began. And anytime anyone ever mentions it, I'm like, should I tell them? Is it my responsibility to save them some money right now? Because them go for like $400.
Yeah, I guess they're the Grey Goose of headphones. Like Grey Goose vodka is just like regular vodka, just in a really nice bottle.
Really?
And you're just kind of paying for like and also like if you make something expensive, people will assume it's quality.
Yeah. I struggle with that, man. I try not to overthink purchases. There's also that saying like, buy nice or buy twice. I've experienced that as well. I guess it just really depends on the item, right? There's some items you don't need to spend a lot of money on, and there's others that you feel like, oh, maybe like freaking mattresses. I never went mattress shopping, but just hearing people talk about it, like, holy shit, man, 2 G's for a mattress. It's supposed to last 10 years, and I'm like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I think that's a racket. I mean,
okay.
It shouldn't cost that much. A mattress shouldn't be 4 figures.
Yeah.
That's just that's absurd. But I guess there's a mattress cartel. There's Big Mattress.
What's it called? The sleep machine or sleep train. all those guys. They're all in cahoots
with each other. But someday someone will come out with a cheap mattress, and then, or maybe someone's tried to do that already, and then there's kind of like a mob thing where the people from Sleep Train, and it's like I don't think you want to try to compete with us here. Might get a nice shop here. It'd be a shame if it burned down.
Yeah, I know. I know what you mean.
Right, because you think someone would have tried that by now and seen the opening in the market, and like, hey, I could just sell them for cheap, and then
there's
undercut the big guys.
I was gonna say that I've seen a lot of mattress in a box ads, you know, on my phone when I'm scrolling. I think the purple mattress. That's the one that just pops in my head because it's purple. But Nectar, I feel like Nectar is another mattress in a box. That's when someone used that term, I was like, "What's that?" And like, "Oh, okay, I get it. They just ship it to you in a box, and that makes sense." But yeah, I mean, those I think are more affordable. I want to. They have to be, right? Because it uses less material. I don't know, but
yeah. I mean, all I know is if I'm gonna pay like $2,000, I want to be getting like a water bed, or something like that, which was invented in San Francisco, by the way.
Oh shit!
Not a lot of people know that.
I had no idea, man.
Yeah, I remember I had a friend. I don't know if you remember a guy named Eric that used to go to Sit Fin Bar in like very early days. Like kindergarten, maybe like second grade, Eric Anderson. But I remember going over to his house. His parents had a water bed. That's the only time I've ever seen one in real life.
What's it called, man? I do remember Eric. I feel like I do if I had see the picture. But I did have my experience with the water bed because my folks had one, but they got tired of it. So they're like, you can have it, and I'm like, damn. So for a while there, I had a water bed that I didn't change the water to in like a very long time. And then at some point I was like, all right, now I gotta deflate it. So you know when you like do that thing where you blow into the hose and then it's supposed to pop out and like, you know, it starts to like deflate that way. I fucking did that and like I got it like just I drowned in that old water bed like water, dude. It was pretty bad. I got tasted everything bad. It was when you mentioned water bed, that's the first memory that popped in my mind.
Yeah, I think you gotta be careful with that because like I think that's how you get like Legionnaire's disease. It's from like water that's been stored for because I remember hearing about when people are like where offices were reopening after being closed for a long time. They were worried about Legionnaire's disease because the water in the air conditioning units had just been sitting there for so long. And I think when it's like water's like sits there, you're liable to get the Legionnaire's bacteria. So that's probably another reason that water beds fell out of favor.
For sure.
Can also make you sick in addition to being, you know, leaking. And, you know, I mean, you can get mold from them too if the water leaks. That's no fun. So,
yeah.
Man, I don't even know if they're all that comfortable.
No, thanks for
this has been the Waterbed podcast.
If you're thinking about getting
talking
one,
waterbeds, yeah.
Toll-free number, man. 1-800-WATERBEDS.
Yeah.
All right, man. I had another fleeting thought, but it's okay. We've gotten to the concluding portion of the interview. I only got a couple more questions for you, and I've been trying to find a way to connect my guests. Like, basically, I have the previous guest asking a question to you, and this one is shout out Marianne. This is her question for you. What is the most important thing you've learned about yourself during the pandemic?
Most important thing. Well, I guess it's that I'm not really that social. I guess I've been I don't know if alarmed is the right word, but like I see people talking about like, oh, I miss live music so much. I can't wait to get back out there. I'm just like, you know that, you know, yeah. I guess I mean it's not like I'm you know, completely content with having no contact. Like I do, you know, require some socialization, but yeah, I'm quite content to like be sequestered, I guess, and away from people. And because I noticed a lot of, you know, people like my friends, it's, you know, it really hit them hard. Like they were struggling in the very beginning because like they're very, very social and you know, always going out to bars and stuff. And I guess I learned that I'm grateful to be kind of introverted, I suppose, and that yeah, I've learned I can definitely live without bars. I mean, that's, I mean, I've stopped drinking too, or just taking a drinking break. That makes it sound like I had a problem. I don't like saying that, because I feel like when you're like, oh, I'm not drinking, people are like, oh, okay, and just, I don't want people to like think that.
I got you.
Yeah, but yeah, I've been kind of dismayed, I guess, to learn at how little contact I need. I guess part of it's just being raised as an only child. I mean, I do have like a sibling. She's like much older and like didn't really grow up here with me. So, yeah, I guess that's kind of the main thing I learned about myself. I guess another thing I've learned is that I've got how do I say it? And well, the pejorative way is like to say it is engineer's disease, where I'm like I've noticed myself like I do like some programming every now and then. I realize that like I kind of need to do that because I'll like, I don't know, I'll just find myself looking at like everyday things of like there's a traffic light by my house. It's like broken, where it's like it gives like a red for one direction and a green for the other, and I'm like, oh, it's so illogical. How did this happen? And like, I find myself getting bothered by stuff like that. It's like I need to like have like some kind of technical project to work on, because when I think about when I was happiest during the pandemic, it was when I had an idea for something to code, and I had something to like look forward to working on and like really occupy my brain, because I feel like music just doesn't cut it. It's not enough, because when you're programming something, it works or it doesn't, like a piece of music, it can be like, well, they said they liked it, but I don't know, maybe they're just trying to humor me, or I don't know. I don't know if this piece of music worked or not, but like, it's so satisfying to have something that's like, okay, it works or it doesn't. It throws errors, or it doesn't, or it does what it's supposed to, or it doesn't. And because I've kind of tried to get back into doing technical stuff, but I feel like I just have to have a project. I have to have something that like I can use myself, and that like I think would be useful, and like I think is not too hard, but at the same time isn't too easy. And it's very hard to find things that meet all those criteria. But like I decided to make a little game with JavaScript like around like September. So I think like that was the happiest time for me, because I just like I had like this little project, and I would like be away from the computer and think like, oh, I have an idea, like, oh, that's what I could do for that, and like I'd have like something to look forward to when I get home to work on. So I need like a technical challenge to occupy my brain. I guess I could like take up chess, maybe fill up the same thing, but I've tried doing that. I'm not really into it.
Yeah. I mean, thank you for opening up. I never really thought about coding in that way, but I can see how that feeling of tangible success, or not success, but just putting something together. I didn't know it's called engineer's disease, so that's something.
Yeah, I guess engineer's disease is more like when people are like I guess a good example would be like this argument I had with my ex about whether it was like better to put the cereal in the bowl first or the milk. And I was like trying to like prove like with physics why it's a better idea. Like, no, if you put the milk in first, then when you put like the cornflakes in, it's gonna splash and displace the milk. Whereas you put the cereal in first and then the milk will fill the voids, and it won't. I realized I was like explaining this thing like very technical, like, you know, terms, and you know, that's kind of like engineers disease, or sometimes these things are just people's preferences, and there's like no one right way to do it. But I'm always like trying to think, like, what's the optimal way to do this, you know?
Gotcha. Yeah, man, I don't know who the hell pours the milk first. I'm more of a cereal.
Well,
and then
my ex did, yeah.
different regions, maybe different childhoods, different preferences. But for sure. My next question for you is actually asking you, what question would you like to ask the next guest?
What would I like to ask? Well, I guess we can ask, who do you think you are? I remember we were talking about that earlier. It's like, who do you think you are? Like, what are you about? What's your conception of yourself? Like, not, you know, I guess the tone is important. It's not like, who do you think you are? It's like, who do you think that you are?
Yeah, I got you. That's a great question, man. I'm probably gonna have to add that to the list. But no doubt. And then my very last question for you is, what is the greatest lesson you've learned thus far in your life?
Oh boy. Oh man, that's a hard one. The greatest lesson is in general in life.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's a lot of lessons we learn, so it could be like the first one that pops up in your head.
I'm trying to think about like how to put it into words, how to articulate. I guess like you have to oh man. I'm really stumbling here.
Take your time.
Yeah, you have to like accept that you don't have control over things, really, that you know. I mean, 2020 has been a great example of that, how all your best laid plans can be, you know, destroyed by some unforeseen event that's much bigger than you, and you have to just deal with that. Because, you know, I have a hard time with like you know, being disappointed and like disappointment. Like, I think that was a big theme of last year, is you know, people are disappointed they didn't get to travel and get to see their favorite shows, and it's hard because it's like, no, I planned this for so long, and you know, I've been saving to do it, and you have to just realize that some things are out of your control, like that, what they say in I think it's AA, how you know, give me the strength to accept I can't change things, and the, you know, ability to change the things that I can.
Yeah.
Paraphrasing it. But yeah, I guess that just you don't have that much control, and like things can always happen, and you know, life can always happen, and it can work the other way too. It can like bring unexpected benefits. There can be things that come good things that come out of nowhere. Though it seems so hard to imagine now with how bad everything is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, in a way that did happen also with the pandemic, because like that first $1,200 check, like I really needed that, and that really you know, helped, and it was something I, you know, didn't see coming like a month before, because you know, COVID got pretty bad pretty quick.
Yeah.
But yeah,
For sure.
Yeah, that's a question I have to really, spend a lot of time meditating on.
No worries.
Greatest lesson.
If you ever want to, just let me know the answer down the road. I'm more than open to hearing about it, man.
Okay.
But yeah, we've finally reached the end of the podcast. Want to thank all the listeners and viewers out there for tuning in. Want to thank you again, Sean, for coming on. I just got this one little tidbit for you, and it's something that always crosses my mind at times. And I don't know if you remember this, but it was one of the early lessons I've had about like social interaction and whatnot. But it was, I think, your birthday party in the 5th grade. I want to say 5th or 4th grade, but you had invited some people, and you didn't personally invite me yourself. But I remember I asked you like, "Yo, can I come?" Like whatever it was. I forgot what the event was, but I remember I told my parents like, and on the ride home, and then they were like, "Why did you invite yourself?" Like, And I was all like, "Oh shit!" Like, I mean, as a kid, I had no idea what I was doing, but yeah, man. So, my bad. For inviting myself. But, we were kids, and I thought we were all friends, so it was all I thought it was.
Yeah, I probably would have done the same thing. Yeah, I think it was went to the jungle.
Yeah.
I remember it was a play place that used to be at like 9th and Bryant, where you get off the freeway. There's like a Bed Bath and Beyond there now. That place was so cool.
Dude, I love the jungle. Yeah, they moved somewhere like in Concord, but because of COVID, they're probably down for the count. But yeah. Just wanted to apologize. Nice. Finally, I've been holding on that for 20 years.
Yeah, well, you're invited. You can come to my 32nd party.
For sure.
It's my birthday's in January, so.
Hey man,
already passed. Not that I really did anything for it anyway, because
No man, I feel you. I mean, all these birthdays don't count. We're the age before COVID hit, forever. So.
Yeah. Oh, I'm still 30 then.
Yeah. Nah, I'm with you. But yeah, still trying to figure out a great way to end these conversations. It's always hard for me to do so. So